Hey guys, Zar here. Hope all is well and trust you're having a good day. Just wanted to join you for a few minutes here for a quick VIP lesson on the idea of mastering a single defined trading process. And this is something that I truly believe is the game changer or the difference maker in the life of a trader when they finally realize what's necessary from a foundational standpoint in terms of their daily practice and doing the same things over and over again. So let's get into it. Mastering a single defined process. And when I talk about a single defined process, I'm talking about becoming a master of one thing and one thing alone and repeating it over and over again so that it becomes part of who and what you are, your identity, if you will, as a trader. Because if you are like the 95% of traders out there, you will try to be a jack of all trades, pun intended, and you will be a master of none. And ultimately, you will fail. The statistics are very, very clear. And the statistics are not clear that the reason you're failing is because you're not a master of a single defined process. But I can assure you from my many, many years, even decades of experience, this is key. It's central. And that's why I'm focusing a special lesson on just this idea alone. I'm talking about developing a single defined process that suits and fits your unique mental and emotional wiring. And we are all very different. Of course, from a big picture biological standpoint, we're all very similar. Number of chromosomes and so on and so forth. Our biological processes are generally the same. But we are different phenotypes and different genotypes and different metabolic profiles and different lifestyles. We react differently to different chemicals, including neurotransmitters and stress hormones, things like dopamine and serotonin and cortisol spikes in our system, and how we react to different nutrients in food, whether it be sugar or caffeine or alcohol or fats and carbohydrates and proteins, and what that does to our mental processes. We are different sleep chronotypes. We also get different amounts of sleep, different levels of depth of sleep and quality of sleep, and so on and so forth, right? We come from different backgrounds with different amounts of capital to invest, with different traumatic histories, with different levels of patience and impatience and reactivity, and how we improvise when things are happening to us on a day-to-day basis, even intraday, like in trading, for instance, and so on and so forth. And there are 1,000 ways that we are unique in and unto ourselves, and how we need to develop that process that uniquely suits your unique mental wiring, your emotional wiring, your personality, and your nature, essentially. And then once we've developed that single defined process, it means repeating that process in exactly the same way each and every day. Now, when I say exactly the same way, will there ever be nuances? Of course there are. But I encourage you to approach your trading day with the idea of repeating your single defined process in exactly the same way each and every day, understanding that nuance and variance will happen. But it means mastering a single defined trading system with clear and specific rules on entries and exits and in-trade management, whether you're a 1R all or nothing trader or 1.5 or 2 or 3 or 10R all or nothing trader, whether you move your stop to break even, and if so, when do you do that, under what conditions, and so on and so forth. So a single defined trading system with clear and specific rules. This can take years to develop. But it also means mastering a single defined pre-market charting routine. I do the same thing every single day at almost exactly the same time every morning in terms of what I do with my charts. And you have a separate cheat sheet on what I do with respect to marking up my charts and how I start with the daily charts and move to the 30-minute charts and work my way down and create structure and go from there. It means mastering a single defined pre-market visualization routine. And I do the same thing every morning at around the same time. And you have a separate cheat sheet on this as well. But around 5 to 10 minutes, it's usually around 8 minutes to the open. So around 9:22 or so in the morning, I will go through my visualization routine. I will do my deep breathing. I do my full body scan to find out where the tension is in my body and begin to release it muscle group by muscle group, to make sure that my body is relaxed when going into the market. There is a direct link between how relaxed we are in our body and how we react in the marketplace. I will then spend several minutes walking through my 4-7-8 breathing routine. I do this while staring at the Three Sisters 1-minute charts, by the way, and just really getting a feel in a relaxed, calm way of what the markets are doing. Of course, they're moving live at that point in the pre-market, right? But also what I expect them to do. And I visualize what may in fact happen in each of those indices. Usually I imagine them doing the same or similar things, but then I'll flash over to the 30-minute chart while still doing my breathing exercises. It becomes easy to do, by the way, guys. Once you've done the 4, 7, 8 for a while, it becomes almost second nature. I actually repeat the breathing exercise several times throughout the day as I feel I need to, and you will do the same thing as you incorporate the technique, or any other breathing technique for that matter, into your ritual set. And then it means mastering a single defined market open routine. And if you don't believe I have a single defined market open routine, just watch my trade videos. You'll see they're quite boring because I pretty much say and think the same things every time. In fact, what's happening in my mind is almost identical. I try to make it a little bit more interesting for you by, I don't know, talking about my cat being in the room or what may have happened in the news last night. I don't even think I do that very much. Pretty boring stuff, right? I'm always staring at the three sisters. I'll look at the daily charts sometimes online. I do that on my own monitors, of course. And then I'll talk about how we are looking at the three sisters, the NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow 1-minute charts with VWAP, volume weighted average price of all transactions that have occurred in the session, and so on and so forth. Waiting for that first candle to open. That will be the 1-minute open range. There it is. There's the bottom and there's the top, and it's going to move out to the right. And right, you hear me say the same thing over and over again. Why? Because I'm looking at the same thing every day, over and over again. And then I tell you what I'm expecting. And then I'll take you over to the 30-minute chart. I'll show you where my zones are and where the market open action is relative to those zones. And if we're near a resistance zone, I will say that I'm likely looking for shorts, because the longs have been taken out of the equation unless prices can break convincingly through, and so on and so forth, right? But it's a single defined market open routine or ritual that I repeat over and over again. And I have great confidence around it. It doesn't mean I'm going to win every time. I win most of them, though, because I only trade optimal setups. Sometimes I don't trade because things are not optimal, right? But I encourage you to master a single defined market open routine. Approach it the same way every day. This is what master traders do. And I'm not calling myself a master trader, by the way, but I'm trying to emulate the behavior of master traders. Let me just say it that way. It means mastering a single defined optimal trading window. As most of you know, I focus most of my trading attention on the first 2 hours of the day. That's 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And then we begin to move into the twilight zone or the lunch hour for North America. By then, European markets are closed, and you have another cheat sheet on this and why I believe what I believe about the optimal trading window. Now, there are times when I will trade in the afternoon because I have a single defined afternoon process as well. But I actually, and more recently very vocally, am encouraging most traders to avoid trading the afternoon, because in my experience, and I work with a lot of traders, and I hear from a lot of traders, I should say, is that most lose money in the afternoon. And even if they make money in the morning, which many do, they will give it back in the afternoon. And I think that's sad, right? It's not required. And so make your money in the morning, go home, right? When I say go home, be done with it and move on. It means mastering a single defined daily journaling routine, the same thing every day. Asking questions like, how many trades did I take today? Did those trades follow my plan? When did I enter? How did I exit? How did I manage the trade? Was that according to my rules? What was my position sizing? Did I break my position sizing rules? What did I do right today? What did I do wrong today? What did I learn from this? And so on and so forth. Ultimately, guys, what we're talking about here is the fact that repetition is the mother of skill. And if repetition is the mother of skill, then ritual is the father of installation. And I'm talking about installing your single defined process into your DNA. We are moving mind into muscle. It's becoming part of who and what we are as traders and how we operate in this world and in this game. The master of a single defined process, but that repetition and that ritualization is absolutely key to this. And I will go as far as to say this, guys. In my experience, the power and consistency of your trading rituals will dictate your odds of success as a trader, as a short-term trader in particular. And so I will leave you with that lesson here today, guys, and really submit to you that mastering a single defined trading process is something that all master traders do, and many of them don't even know that they're doing it or how to articulate it. They just do it. They just do the same things every day, all day. They just repeat the same stuff and get bored by it, which is awesome. They just don't trade for excitement and for dopamine hits. They just don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. They just don't try different things all the time and jump from one model to another. It's just become part of who they are. But success leaves clues. And that is the clue for today, guys. Mastering a single defined trading process and the power of boring repetition and ritual. Have an amazing day. Thanks for being here.